Happy New Year's, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a brief walk around on the General Electric dryer, model number GTD72E0WS. This dryer is the counterpart to the GTW720 that I recently did a video on, and if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and check it out. But this is the exact same counterpart. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing. But just to kind of fill you in, I did purchase these units on Black Friday, so the price of them may vary now. I paid $520 for them at the time. I don't know where the price stands now, but let's assume the washing machine cost and the dryer cost $550. This is more or less what you're looking at for $550. So I want to start off with the cycles. Similar to the washing machine, there is sound on it, but I do have the sound turned off. If you turn on, or if you actually have it off and turn your dial, that'll turn the dryer on for you. I want to go over the cycles that it has, because this is a Energy Star rated sensor dryer. Starting with the quick dry. Casuals, jeans, cottons, delicates, mixed, towels, bulky, sanitize, air fluff, warm up, and time dry. That's where you actually manually select the time. Those are the cycles that come with the unit, and some of the options here include the sound if you want it on or off, a delayed dry, a damp dry. If you hold this, it'll turn on the drum light, the My Cycle, which will save your cycle, a wrinkle care, less time, more time, and an eco dry. So damp alert would just let you know that you have something in there you don't want to get too dry, so you can later hang dry them. Delay dry is, of course, you load it and then you can delay as to how long you want it to go before it starts actually drying. The My Cycle, save your most favorite cycle. You hit it, press start, and go about your day. Control lock settings, if you tap these two, will lock, so that way you don't have children messing with it. And then Eco Dry will shut off and turn on your heating element. It's not selectable at all, but typically it ramps up the drying time in favor of saving on the electricity costs. So let's take a look at the interior. As you can see, it matches perfectly. I will say this, if you are in a kind of built-in enclosed closet, consider measuring your units. We have to take the doors apart to get the dryer in because it's a 7.4 cubic foot tub. It's very deep, wide, 27 inches wide, just like every other unit, but pretty deep. So consider measuring before you purchase. For the inside, if we just go ahead and see as if we were just opening it up for the first time, you'll notice pretty tasteful little blue LED light turns on. You can have that light on while it's in motion, so you can kind of see, I guess, what your clothes looks like tumbling in there. Take a look at the interior here. I'm really digging the stainless steel interior, and the reason why is it retains the heat a little bit better. So after the clothes is done drying, the clothes is still warm and keeps warm, and most likely dry a little bit more efficiently. I also like that the lint tray is here in the front. Easy, you just remove it, and that way you can vacuum up any of the excess lint that kind of lingers there. I also want to take you on a brief little tour of how the sensor works and where it's located. I know it's hard to tell, but these are your sensors for the dampness of your clothes. It's actually located right behind your lint trap. So this is what basically will shut the unit off once your clothes feels nice and dry. But this is the exact same reason as to why you can't just throw a shirt in there or a sweater or just one garment in there and expect it to run on a sensor cycle. And the reason why is because as it passes over this, what it's doing is sensing the dampness of the clothes on there, and if it sees that a couple of tosses later there's nothing interacting with it, it'll just bypass the sensor and then just shut the dryer off entirely. So one of those things that you would want to do is just make sure when you load the dryer that you are loading just more than one garment at a time, at least 5, 6, 7, 8, but not just 1 or 2 or 3, because it's a deep tub. You see, it's a very deep tub, and if your clothes is tumbling all the way back there, it's not interacting, then you're gonna be disappointed when it just flips over 2 or 3 times and then it shuts off and you're wondering if it's broken or not. It's not, but unfortunately you do need to load it up a little bit more. So my one complaint with this so far isn't the sound of it. I think it's a very quiet unit. It isn't the functionality of it. I think there's plenty of options and features, just like the dryer, like the washing machine. It's really not the size either, despite the fact that we had to take the doors off. Right now, since we've barely used it, my only complaint on it would be right here, this little mechanism here. So this is where your dryer door latches onto, and it's just a little flimsy piece of steel with some 2 Phillips screw bits there. And what I dislike about it is it takes a little bit of pressure for it to close properly. You almost have to slam the door to get it to close, and it's pretty loud. And I don't know if durability's sake how much it'll withstand, but that's pretty common, and you'll see that with most American dryers. If you're comparing it to like a Whirlpool or Maytag, they all have that layout. If you look at LG and Samsung, they approach it a little bit differently. Definitely a lot easier to close. But aside from that, I think the dryer is really nice, and next to the washing machine, I think they both look like a pretty good pair. And then let me show you here. So if you just hold on to that drum light, you get that nice LED light. And then when you're drying, let's say for example, I'll put it on a time dry just to demonstrate. You can go on time dry. You really don't have the option to select the level of dampness, but you do here. Then you get the progress meter up here. Let me show you how loud it sounds. So you just hit this little button. And then if you shut it off and you have lint in your lint trap, it'll let you know, hey, you have to clean out your lint trap. But estimated time, it's kind of irrelevant, because if you put it on that jean setting and it's done well below 48 minutes, well then that's a surprise. But it's more or less an average gauge. But the unit, to save you on your electricity, will shut off once it's done drying, and it does a good job. It's got a pretty beefy fan blower. It's got pretty strong heating element to get it up to sanitize. So it's good altogether. But so one thing I will say is, let's say this is a 550, take into consideration that the dryer does not have a steam option. So the steam will benefit you if you're a busy household that instead of you ironing your clothes would prefer the dryer to release the wrinkles with steam. Just take that into consideration. This does not have it for 550 bucks, 580 bucks. It does not have it. It's got sanitize, which will get that temperature nice and hot, you know, to sanitize from pet dander, dust mites, whatever the case may be. Similar to the washing machine that has sanitize, but there's no built-in steam in either of the two units. So what I've actually gone ahead and done, what my wife did, was she purchased me this little hand steamer. And it's a little cup for it, and you just pass it through your clothes. And I haven't used it just yet because it just got in here 2 days ago. So, but I'll do a review on it too if you guys are in the market for a little hand steamer instead of ironing the clothes. In the past, they've done a really good job for us, really quick at releasing the wrinkles and ironing the clothes is pretty nice. But the Eco Dry setting I've used once, and it ran, and after an hour and a half, the clothes was still kind of damp. So I don't know if I'll ever use that feature again. But lately I've just been using the cottons and the mixed loads, and I've used that bulky setting, and everything is nice. So altogether, if I were to rate it out of 10, you know, without it not having steam at the price point that it's at, I'd probably knock it, like maybe half a point. And then also this dryer latch here, probably knock it another half a point. But everything else is designed well. LED lights, nice touch. The tub material is nice. It really retains the heat, so it dries a little bit more efficiently. I like that lint trap there. All the other Whirlpool, Maytag, Kenmore products have them up here typically, and they're long. This is just easier to clean without having to jump into like $1,000 Maytag or $1,000 Whirlpool or anything like that, or Samsung or LG if you've never had good luck with them. This is a pretty good alternative, and you know, everything else, I'm impressed. We like it. It's not very loud. It does a good job, and it has a lot of options for you if you're needing them. So hey, thanks again for joining me today. I appreciate it like always. Consider hitting that subscribe button, that like button. We'll be trying to do some washing reviews in the near future. As of right now, we don't have really anything in there. But we'll get to demonstrate some washing cycles. Dryer, there's not much I'm gonna do with the dryer, but that just kind of is a walkthrough of how it looks. But yeah, it's a pretty massive dryer. So, but yeah, stay tuned for some upcoming videos on the washing machine. Tons of cycles. If there's one that you want to see washing, let me know. I'll run it so you can see it, and consider subscribing. And if you like the video, like it. And if you have any comments, just make sure to leave them in the comment box, and I'll respond to them as soon as possible. Alrighty, everybody, have a great new year. Hopefully you get that new washer and dryer you guys have always been talking about. And thanks again. Have a great day.